Since I began making videos for YouTube, I've been hoping I could transition to a point where I could mount a camera down and talk directly. Some days I do it effortlessly, other days it feels like I don't even know how to speak English. But the one thing I know ultimately is I want to be as authentic and as true to myself as possible, and also as true to whoever happens to come across this video. Firstly, my name is Udoka David. My mom named me David at some point, but originally I was christened as Zubike, then Doka Agbachi. I've been a photographer for the last 16 years. Photography has been my life. It's been everything to me. It's been the way I communicate. It's been the way I relate with people. And I could also say that one of the things I got the most wrong is believing that photography was the only thing I was good at for the last couple of years. You know, the first person I remember many years back when my uncle would always want to rearrange the house. He had a thing for always changing the way the house looked, changing the furnitures and all that stuff. But whenever he did and kept everything basic, I was always the guy that would look at things and say, hey, why don't we put this here? And when we do, somehow everything just always seemed to look a lot more appealing. And I remember the first time I heard these words, you have an eye for aesthetics. I didn't know what he meant, but I tried to Google it. Oof, this marshes. Iwi. I didn't know what he meant at the time because I was a kid. I wasn't that vast in English language. But eventually he explained to me that having an eye for aesthetics means you have an eye for what looks right, what should be, how it should be, and what looks the most appealing and what looks ideal. Well, let's just say over the years, subconsciously, that eye has evolved. For the most part, whenever I try to learn something new, I always say, I don't know how to do it yet. I like to use the word yet because in life, I believe life is all about learning and evolving and adapting and learning something new and evolving and making it better. Just like when I started photography. Photography was, someday I'm going to tell you guys or whoever is listening how I got into photography, but let's just say at the time, ever since the first time I picked up a camera, not being sure how I wanted it to look, not being sure how to make it look the way I wanted it to look, but I knew how I wanted the photographs I captured to look. And over the years, I've gotten a whole lot better at putting those pictures together and, you basically holding the camera and imagining what a certain scenario, what a picture should possibly look like, and then put it together. Some days it's not always ideal, some days it's not always as good as I want, but with every shot I take, my goal was always how to make it better. How do I make this better? How do I make it look even better? Which obviously translated into evolution, growth. I call myself a forever learner, a forever student of photography because I've always understood that the art of photography is ever evolving. So yeah, similarly, starting a YouTube page, talking in front of the camera. I'll be honest, it's not the easiest for me. Sometimes I never know what to do with my hands. I try different things. Like some days I want to make cinematic videos. Some days I want to vlog of my, film my life around Samui. But I know that the most important thing for me is the reason I started this page. It's because I want to be as honest. I want to be as honest, and I also want to be the most vulnerable. Because naturally, when you put on a camera, the moment you hit record, it's like it's like a test. It's like a test of how vulnerable you can be. Right now, I'm in Koh Samui, Thailand. Life here is incredible. Life here is life here is something I'd imagined many years ago. What growing up in Lagos, Nigeria is like. I always had a thing for going to the beach, and wondered what it would look like to live on the beach. And I used to go to Takwa Bay to spend weekends and just look at the city from far. But now I find myself on this breathtaking island that every angle, every corner I look at here, it looks like a picture, it looks like a painting. I want to capture everything, but through the years, again, evolution. As much as photography is evolving, the way people appreciate the art is also ever evolving. There's almost always a camera in me wherever I go, be it my phone, my mirrorless camera, DSLR, and now this tiny Pocket 4, which seem to always follow me everywhere. Because ultimately, I still love capturing things. I still love being able to show the world through my perspective. I still have that eye for aesthetics, which never changed. And I don't think that's changing anytime soon. It's just who I am, it's just the way it is. And again, it's not always going to be perfect, but every day for me is a day to capture something new. Perhaps tell a new story, tell something different, show the world in a different light, make the world look a little bit better. Some might say it's false when you make the world look better than it looks. I did a video recently at Jack's using the Pocket 4. For me, I just wanted to capture it the way I saw it in my head. Because, sometimes we see things and they look so magnificent, but when it comes to telling people what it looks like, it's hard to straight up describe it fully. So for me, this was my way of telling a story or telling people, this is what I saw when I was there. It looks so beautiful, man. You have to go there. It was colorful. It kind of looked like this magical life. Something kind of the way I picture Samui, for example, it's like this incredible place where the colors keep changing. The sky, when the sun shifts, different hours gives you a different idea, a different translation, a different image of what the island could be or what it looks like. And for me, I want to capture it everywhere I can. And most importantly, I want to share it. I want to show it. I know it's hard. Sometimes it's hard when you have to deal with social media and all the algorithm nonsense, and it could get overwhelming. That's the word I'm looking for, not hard. I don't post so much on Instagram, I don't post on Facebook, I don't post so much on LinkedIn, but that doesn't mean I stop creating. Matter of fact, I create every day. Every day. Creating is my life, and I don't like to be called a content creator, but the ultimate truth is I am a creator after all. So this is my story. This is part of my story. And this is me.